as something to kind of further uh, inspire and be a little hurdle maybe to get over. The Book of Jasher, chapter 3, and God said through an angel to Enoch, he said, "And God desires you, Enoch, to come into heaven and to govern over the sons of God like you have governed over the sons of men." And that just stirs something deeper in me than I can understand. That God just gave a glimpse of his dreams. It's Jasher chapter 3, and the whole chapter is about Enoch. And it's just very enlightening, very inspiring. He was a man of highest, not just integrity, but focused and consumed with being a God-man. Not just a God-man on earth, but he had more desire to be in the presence of God alone, reclused, sequestered apart with just him and God. He had more desire for that than he had to be with people. God actually had to command him in his early life to leave that sequestered place with God alone to go out and walk among the sons of men. And he did so well at it that God sent an angel, and the angel declared to Enoch, he said, "Soon God wants you to come to heaven and to govern over the sons of God like you've governed over the sons of men." That, I believe, that's the end of the quote as best I can remember it. But that, I believe, unveils or reveals a part of God's dream for each of us, both individually and collectively. That he wants us to govern over the heavenly regions in like manner that we've governed over the sons of men here on this earth. Obviously, we got a lot of growing to do in our governing over the earthly places, but that's what he's doing for us today, is he's influencing us with understanding of his dream, and he's adorning us with his fragrances, which awakens desire on our part to come into discernment, which is just one more tool that he's fashioning in us, equipping us with, that as we come into the fulfillment of God's dream for us, and that is to govern over heaven and earth with him, co-govern, we do it with him. As we come into that, we'll be fashioned and fitted with all the tools that he's adorned us with. In the book of Hebrews, first of all, there's not much mentioned about Enoch in our Bible. A couple of verses in Genesis, a couple of mentions in the book of Jude and elsewhere, but Hebrews says something very revealing about Enoch. It says, by faith he escaped death, or did not die, depending on what version. By faith. So first of all, what that does is tells me that Enoch didn't have a special leg up. He wasn't like some specially gifted person. He somehow, in his walking and talk with God, that's what Genesis says, and Enoch walked with God, and God took him for, I forget how it went. But anyway, he walked with God. In Enoch's walking with God, a position of faith was developed. It was established in him. And I think if we can trust the Book of Jasher, which it's an ancient writing, so I think it gives it some note of credibility. If we can trust that, it seems that Enoch's greatest desire was not to be among the sons of men. It was to be among God, or with God himself. And God had to constrain him to go out among the sons of men and ply his righteous trade. And when he did that, as he did that, he first of all laid up treasures in heaven. He created a, reputation in heaven. But the cool thing, the underpinning, the foundation for everything that Enoch did was his desire just to walk with God. And somehow, as I say, Hebrews says that created a position of faith that he was able to transcend the norms of his day. He and you and I were born in a dispensation where everybody dies. But he was able to reach into the eternal realm because of his relationship with Father. And something came alive in him and made him able to escape the norms of his day. I like that, Paul, the idea of just hanging out with God so much, and one day it got evening time. He'd been walking with God all day long, and he was clear over 3 hills away from home, and God says, "Oh, you haven't got time to get home before dark. Just come on home with me."